Haloalkanes and haloarenes is one of the important chapter in 12th CBSE chemistry. So this video we are going to discuss important points for the coming NEET and JEE exam. Let us start with haloalkanes. We know the first member of alkane is methane, CH4. If we replace the hydrogen atom of alkane with halogen, X is a representation of halogen. It may be fluorine, chlorine, bromine or iodine. Then it will be considered as haloalkanes or alkyl halide represented by Rx, where R is a alkyl group, X is a halogen. So haloalkanes are prepared by replacement of hydrogen atom of alkane by halogen X. Similarly, haloarenes means here from the aromatic benzene ring, the hydrogen atom is replaced by halogen X, that is represented by ARX, where AR is the aromatic ring, that is benzene, X is a halogen. For example, chlorobenzene. So that is haloarene. Now classification. If the carbon atom having halogen having only one alkyl group, it is considered as primary haloalkane or haloalkyl halide. If the carbon atom having halogen having two alkyl groups, then it is considered as secondary alkyl halide. And if to the carbon atom having halogen, if you find two alkyl groups, two R groups, then it is considered as tertiary alkyl halide. Similarly, if you find halogen atom, X halogen atom attached to saturated carbon atom, saturated means sp3 hybridized carbon atom, but adjacent to that carbon atom there is one unsaturated carbon atom, such type of haloalkane is considered as allyl halide. And in case of vinyl halide, what we can find is the halogen atom is linked to unsaturated carbon atom, means the carbon atom which is sp2 hybridized, that is vinyl halide. Halogen is linked to sp2 hybridized carbon atom. Then in case of dihalides, if both the halogen atoms, same type of halogen atoms are linked to same carbon atom, then it is geminal dihalide. If the same halogen atom present at the adjacent carbon atom, it is considered as vicinal dihalide. And this is benzyl halide, means aromatic ring, and it is having one alkyl group. That alkyl group hydrogen atom is replaced by halogen, it is benzyl halide. Now let us see the preparations of haloalkanes. Let us start with the alcohol. From alcohol ROH is alcohol, and alcohol by treating with hydrogen halide like hydrogen chloride, hydrogen bromide, hydrogen iodide. When we treat in the presence of anhydrazine chloride, we will get respective alkyl halides along with the liberation of water molecule. And here the order of reactivity is hydrogen iodide is more reactive. For this preparation of hydrogen iodides are more reactive because of weaker bond, and tertiary alcohols are more reactive because of the presence of more electron donating groups. Now second method is the preparation of haloalkanes from phosphorus halides like phosphorus pentahalide like PCl5, phosphorus pentachloride, and phosphorus trihalide like PCl3, phosphorus trichloride. So when we treat with phosphorus halides with alcohol, we can get alkyl halides or haloalkanes along with the respective byproducts. So these reactions you need to practice. Now here the most important method to prepare haloalkane is Darzon's process. In Darzon's process, what happens? Alcohol reacts with thionyl chloride, SOCl2 is thionyl chloride. We will get alkyl chloride along with the release of two gases. One is sulfur dioxide, another one is hydrogen chloride. As these two byproducts are gaseous, they escape the mixture, product mixture, and we will get pure alkyl chloride. That's why to prepare haloalkanes, Darzan's process is considered as the best one because of the escape of the other two byproducts. The reactant here along with the alcohol is SOCl2 thionyl chloride. The next method is halogenation of alkanes. Halogenation is one of the substitution reaction where alkane, RH is alkane. When we treat with halogen in the presence of light at 400 degrees Celsius, the hydrogen atom is replaced by halogen. We will get alkyl halide, haloalkane, along with the release of hydrogen halide. So here, among halogens in the halogenation of alkane, fluorine is highly reactive and least reactive is iodine. Now, the another important reactions are halogen exchange reactions that include Schwarz reaction and Finkelstein reaction. In Schwarz reaction, the halogen atom is replaced by fluorine, another halogen, fluorine. X is also halogen and fluorine is also halogen. When we treat Rx with silver fluoride, we will get alkyl fluoride with the release of AgX. This is Schwarz reaction. In Finkelstein reaction, alkyl halide is treated with sodium iodide in the presence of dry acetone. Here, X and iodine are going to replace, and the product here is alkyl iodide with the formation of sodium halide. This is Finkelstein reaction, important for the exam. The next method to prepare haloalkane is from alkenes. So, to the alkene, we will do hydrohalogenation, means addition of hydrogen and addition of halogen both simultaneously. So here two rules we have to remember. One is Markovnikov's rule, second one is anti-Markovnikov's rule. So when we add hydrogen bromide to unsymmetric alkene, here unsymmetric alkene is propene. So what we can find is, according to Markovnikov's rule, the negative part means Br minus, the negative part of hydrogen bromide is added to unsaturated carbon atom having less hydrogen, and hydrogen ion, H plus ion, the positive part is going to be added to the carbon atom of double bond having more hydrogen. So in that case we will get a secondary alkyl halide called 2-bromo-propane. Whereas same reaction in the presence of peroxide, it is going to takes place against Markovnikov's rule. That's why anti-Markovnikov's rule. So if you take unsymmetric alkene, that is propene, and when you try to add HBr in the presence of peroxide, what you can find is the negative part Br minus is going to be added to the unsaturated carbon atom having more hydrogen, and positive part of HBr, that is H plus, is going to be added to the unsaturated carbon atom having less hydrogen. So in that case we will get primary alkyl halide, that is 1-bromopropane. So in this way we can prepare haloalkanes from alkenes by hydrohalogenation. Now let us see the physical properties of haloalkanes. They are insoluble in water and they have a high melting point and boiling point compared to the parent hydrocarbon. Compared to methane, methyl bromide having higher boiling point. Okay, compared to the hydrocarbons, the alkyl halides having higher melting point and boiling point. And remember, boiling point is directly proportional to molar mass. As molar mass of haloalkane increases, boiling point also increases. And very, very important, you need to remember, in case of isomers, the boiling point is inversely proportional to branching. So as branching increases, boiling point decreases. That we need to remember. Now among haloalkanes, this is the order of bond strength. What we can find here is RF, the bond between alkyl group, the bond between carbon and fluorine, and the bond between carbon and iodine. So here the bond between carbon and fluorine is stronger because the bond is smaller, and the bond between carbon and iodine is weaker because the bond is larger. So because of that, Ri, alkyl iodide, are more reactive and alkyl fluoride are less reactive. Next, in the chemical properties, first we will discuss about elimination reaction. So this is haloalkane. Now during elimination reaction, when we treat with alcoholic KOH, what we can find is from alpha carbon atom there is a release of halogen as a potassium halide, and from beta carbon atom there is a release of hydrogen that reacts with OH to form water, and we will get the respective alkene. Carbon carbon double bond, we will get respective alkene. So here we have to remember one important rules called Seyzaf's rule or Zetsaf's rule, that is applicable when the alkyl halide having two beta carbon atoms. So definitely the carbon having halogen is alpha, whereas the adjacent carbon atoms are beta. So in this case there are two beta carbon atoms. Now the confusion is from the alpha carbon atom, so we will remove halogen. Now from which carbon atom, from which beta carbon atom hydrogen has to be released in elimination reaction? That is the most confusion part. So the Seyzaf's rule says that when we treat haloalkane with alcoholic potassium hydroxide, from alpha carbon atom we will remove halogen that reacts with potassium to release as KCl, whereas the beta carbon atom having less hydrogen, from that beta carbon atom we have to remove hydrogen that reacts with OH to form water. So in that case, here the double bond is going to arise, that will be the most stable product. So the Seyzaf's rule says that the alkene generated during this elimination reaction, in which the double bonded carbon atom having least number of carbon atoms, least number of hydrogens will be the major products. So double bonded carbon have least number of hydrogens, that will be the major product. So that is Seyzaf's rules. Now when alkyl halides reacts with metal like magnesium in the presence of ether, they are going to generate Grignard reagents. RMgX is the Grignard reagent. When this Grignard reagent reacts with water, when it undergo hydrolysis, it forms alkane RH of water molecule, and we will get one basic magnesium halide MgOHX. So here we have one Wurtz reaction where haloalkanes RX reacts with sodium in the presence of ether to produce higher alkanes. This R and R reacts to form higher alkanes along with the release of sodium halide. Now haloarenes, when it comes to haloarenes, ARX is a representation of haloarenes. It can be prepared from benzene diazonium salt. This is a representation of benzene diazo. Di means two, azo means nitrogen. Diazonium salt, benzene diazonium salt. When we treat with CuCl and HCl, we will get chlorobenzene, one of the haloarene. It is a Sandmeyer's reaction. Same benzene diazonium chloride, when we treat with copper and HCl, then also we will get chlorobenzene, that is Gutterman reaction. When benzene diazonium chloride reacts with NaBF4, here also we will get one haloarene, that is Bals-Siemens reaction. So these reactions you have to practice and you have to remember. Now physical properties of haloarenes, you have to remember that aryl halides means haloarenes, they are colorless and a stable liquid with pleasant odor. They have pleasant odor. They are insoluble in water but readily miscible with organic solvents, and boiling point rises from fluoro to iodo compounds. Because of increasing molar mass, the boiling point is rises, and they are steam volatile and heavier than water. Haloarenes are heavier than water. Now here there are few questions we are going to solve which has been asked in the previous exam. We have one alkene here. Now that we have to treat with hydrogen bromide in the presence of hydrogen peroxide. In the presence of hydrogen peroxide, addition of HBr follows anti-Markovnikov's rules. We know it. We have to find out here the major product. Now what we need to focus here is, so this unsymmetric alkene, when we treat with hydrogen bromide, now if we considered that the pi electrons are reacting with the hydrogen, if this hydrogen is added to this carbon atom, it becomes CH3, then the adjacent carbon atom get positive charge. Because of that, there is a generation of secondary carbocation. Now here we got secondary carbocation. This is secondary carbocation. To this secondary carbocation, the negative part of hydrogen bromide, Br minus, will be added and we will get this product. Whereas if to the same reactant, if the hydrogen atom is added to this particular carbon atom. Here there is a shifting of this carbon atom, it will become CH2, and here the addition of this hydrogen atom to this carbon atom, it will become CH3. There is a creation of carbocation to this particular carbocation, this one. It's a tertiary carbocation because 3 carbon chains are there. I'll repeat once again. In the second case, which is considered as a major product, here we can find the hydrogen atom will be added to this carbon atom, unsaturated carbon atom. Now this hydrogen atom is displacing here, displacement of this hydrogen atom to generate here carbocation, and that carbocation is tertiary, and compared to secondary carbocation, tertiary carbocation is stable one. To this tertiary carbocation, when a negative Br minus is added, we will get the major product. So in that case, we must remember tertiary carbocation is most stable. When it comes to select between secondary and tertiary carbocation will be the stable one. Now in this particular reaction, we need to find out the major product P. Now here we have 3-methyl cyclohexene. This is 3-methyl cyclohexene that we have to treat with bromine in the presence of light. Now we will get the product, the major product is 3-bromo 3-methyl cyclohexene. Why this is the major product? Because during the course of formation there will be a generation of free radical, and the generation of free radical is tertiary free radical. So the tertiary free radical, here it is generating this particular carbon atom. Here there is a generation of free radical. This particular carbon atom having one odd number of electron, and this free radical is tertiary because it is having 3 adjacent carbon atoms, 1, 2 and 3. That's why as this tertiary free radical is most stable one, there we can find there will be addition of bromide ion Br minus with one odd number of electron. That's why the major product is 3-bromo 3-methyl cyclohexene. Reason is because the free radicals present at the tertiary position is more stable. That's why this is the major product. Now we need to remember that chlorobenzene due to negative inductive effect by chlorine atom, as it is going to electron density is going to decrease in the benzene in the presence of chlorine atom, the electron density is going to decrease on the benzene ring. Because of that, the electrophile can easily attack, and there will be a formation of para-dichlorobenzene. So what I am trying to say is, chlorobenzene, as it is a haloarine, it can undergo easily electrophilic substitution reaction, but chlorobenzene cannot undergo nucleophilic substitution reaction. Nucleophiles means nucleus loving species, means they are negatively charged, electron rich. Electrophile means electron loving species, means they are positively charged, electron deficient. So chlorobenzene, as it is a haloarine, because of the presence of chloro group, the electron density decreases in the benzene ring. That's why it can react with electrophile very easily. Whereas the chlorobenzene cannot react with nucleophile, or it cannot undergo nucleophilic substitution reaction because of the generation of partial double bond between carbon and halogen. There is a generation of partial double bond between carbon and halogen. That's why, because of this resonance, haloarenes cannot undergo nucleophilic substitution reaction, but they can undergo electrophilic substitution reaction easily. Now here we have one reaction, bromoethane. When it reacts with alcoholic potassium hydroxide, it undergo dehydrohalogenation. There is a release of Br from alpha carbon atom, and there is a release of hydrogen from beta carbon atom. There is a generation of ethene. Now that ethene, when we react with bromine in the presence of carbon tetrachloride, it leads to addition reaction to form 1,2 dibromoethane. When this 1,2 dibromoethane reacts with potassium cyanide, we will get 1,2 dicyanoethane. We have one more important reaction. We have ethyl chloride. when we treat with AgCN, silver cyanide, as it is covalent, nitrogen will be the electron donor, and here we will get ethyl isocyanide. Ethyl isocyanide, and its isomer is which one? CH3, CH2, Cn. This is the isomer of this particular product, and this product we will get when we take KCN, because KCN is ionic and AgCN is covalent. If you take AgCN, you will get isocyanide. If you take KCN, you will get cyanide. That you need to remember. Now, this is tertiary butyl bromide. When you treat with sodium methoxide, CH3ONA, you will get this particular product, that is 2-methyl propene with the formation of methanol and NABR. Then we have two products, chlorobenzene and benzyl chloride. Now we need to distinguish these two. To distinguish to both, we need to add aqueous potassium hydroxide and silver nitrate. Now among these two, benzyl chloride is going to react and forms white precipitate, because this is chlorobenzene is a haloarine, and it does not undergo nucleophilic substitution reaction, whereas this can undergo easily nucleophilic substitution reaction and produce white precipitate. Now this is bromobenzene. When you react with magnesium metal in the presence of ether, you will get Grignard reagent. C6H5MgBr. When you treat with heavy water, that is deuterium oxide, you will get this particular product where C6H5 and the hydrogen atom is deuterium. Another hydrogen atom is deuterium. This particular product we will get. Similarly, when you do hydrolysis to chloroform in the presence of aqueous KOH, chloroform with aqueous KOH, you will get this particular trihydroxymethane, which undergo hydrolysis because this is unstable, to get formic acid or methanoic acid. And this methanoic acid reacts with potassium to form potassium formate. These reactions are very important. Practice and make sure you are perfect in this chapter. Thank you.